It's about making sure that college is as accessible and affordable as possible to students, which is particularly important at this time of year as we see millions of students graduating from high school and ready to go on to the next stage of their lives. Many of them want that next stage to include the ability to go to two-year college or a four-year college and continue their educations. The problem is that a lot of them either aren't going to have that opportunity or they're going to really struggle with it financially, them and their families, because their family incomes on average have been sliding over the last decade or two, according to statistics, at the same time that the costs of college, tuition, and room and board and so forth have really been spiking. So we want to make sure that through wise policy decisions, students really are able to go on to higher education if they want, and we want to ensure they've got every option available to them. Advocates are going to be talking with members of Congress and their staffs about a few important policy priorities to help ensure that students who want to be able to attend college can do so affordably. One of these policies is the American Opportunity Tax Credit, which is a tax credit that's worth up to about $2,500 per eligible family, an eligible student, and it's money that can help offset the costs of college tuition, course materials, and a few other important expenses. And it's also partially refundable, which is an improvement over earlier higher education credits, so that it really reaches and helps some of the very lowest income and neediest families. The problem with the AOTC is simply that it expires at the end of the year unless Congress takes action to retain it, and that's something we would strongly suggest that they do. Policymakers should really hang on to this credit so that billions of dollars of assistance is not lost to these eligible students. Secondly, there's the issue of financial aid, such as Pell Grants. The good news with Pell Grants this year is that the maximum Pell Grant award was held steady and was not reduced. The flip side is that Pell Grants were chipped away in other ways. The income ceiling that helps to determine whether a family can receive the maximum grant award was lowered by $7,000 per family. And the number of full-time semesters that a student could be eligible for Pell Grant assistance with was drawn down as well. And those are directions that we need to stop and we need to turn around and restore some of the cuts that have been made to Pell Grants and get back on track to strengthening that kind of aid rather than continuing to reduce it. College access is really important to the individual students who want to be able to go on to college because their livelihoods, the future livelihoods of their families, really hinge on this ability in many cases. Statistics demonstrate that a worker who has gotten at least a bachelor's degree is earning 90% more on average in weekly earnings at the age of 23 and 24 than are workers who've only gotten a high school diploma. So you can see that it's important to individual families, and you can connect the dots also to the well-being of our workforce overall and the good of our American economy. The unemployment rate for workers who've gotten a bachelor's degree or better is only half the unemployment rate for a worker who has gotten only a high school diploma. And it's only 1/3 of the unemployment rate for a worker who has dropped out of high school. So you can see that while a college education is no guarantee in life, it certainly provides better assurances that a worker is going to be able to find and hang on to gainful employment. And that's good for, once again, the recovery of our entire economy.